We begin here tonight, though, with Governor Ron DeSantis. Busy day signing a group of laws into law today. Has huge impacts on Florida. Good evening, everyone. Welcome here to ABC Action News at 5:30. I'm Paula Groen. It all started today with House Bill 7, the so-called Stop Woke Act that prohibits Florida's public schools and private businesses from making people feel uncomfortable or guilty over their race, sex, or national origin. The governor's saying, quote, "We believe in education, not indoctrination." That was just one of several bills that the governor signed, capping off a very busy week in Florida politics. The governor also signed 3 bills targeting the Walt Disney World Company, and he also signed into law the new congressional maps into law today. So let's get some context here as we bring in our Capitol reporter, Forrest Saunders. Forrest, the lawsuits are already being filed challenging those congressional maps as expected.
Yeah, that's right, Paul. And if you're tired, try and stay awake because there is a lot to get through here. The first lawsuit that we saw today coming from the League of Women Voters as well as several other progressive groups. And what they're essentially saying in that lawsuit is that the new map, which the governor signed into law today, violates the Fair Districts Amendment, which was put into place here in the Florida Constitution several years ago. Their concern is that it diminishes minority-controlled districts going from 4 to 2 in the state. They also say that it gerrymanders in favor of Republicans. We've already heard from analysts on this map who claim that the GOP is going to be able to pick up potentially 4 more seats during the next election cycle. Those issues all boiled over, and they prompted several Democrats to protest on the House floor, staging a sit-in yesterday afternoon. This was big news. And we're still hearing blowback from Republicans who claim that this is a lot like January 6th, the insurrection. But the Legislative Black Caucus coming out today backing those members who protested the final vote on the House floor, saying that this was necessary.
This is what democracy looks like. This is how we fought for civil rights. This is the same way John Lewis fought for Voting Rights Acts. This is what we do when we have nothing else that we know to do.
What you're seeing here is far worse than what happened on January 6th. January 6th was members of the public acting like clowns. These are elected members of the Florida legislature who are attempting to impede the functioning of the U.S. Constitution.
All right, Forrest, still a lot of unknown about how and when stripping Disney of its self-governing power is really going to work out. The lawmakers who are pushing this, they really don't know yet what potential fallout or legal challenges this could ultimately bring. They're not being real clear yet about that billion-dollar debt that Reedy Creek, that Disney holds for managing all the roads and land, and who's going to ultimately pay for that. So this looks like a headline grab right now. Is there a real timeline on when they're actually going to fill in all of those blanks?
No, things are very gray right now. And what we've heard from the Senate president, he was speaking yesterday, actually 2 days ago now. All the days are starting to merge together. But after the Senate gavelled out, what he was telling us was that essentially they had a year to figure out what to do next. And one of the reasons why they wanted to get the Disney bill through during this special session is because they wanted to have time to figure out whether or not they needed to reconstitute the special district or just let it sunset, which is now expected to happen June of 2023. So you can see more than a year is on the table now for lawmakers and Disney to potentially come to the table and maybe curb some of the autonomy that they have in the Reedy Creek Improvement District. But for now, again, it's just a gray zone while we wait and see what happens next, Paul.
And Forrest, lawmakers, they're going to have to go back up to Tallahassee again to tackle home insurance, which is really the big issue. More insurance companies going belly up in Florida, or they're pulling out, or they're raising rates. Are lawmakers offering any details on how they plan to untangle the insurance market mess?
It's interesting.